You are not special, and neither am I. And that's exactly why change feels so hard. We quietly expect the rules of growth to bend for us. Fast results, clean progress, no messy middle. But real change grows slow. And when it does, most of us quit right before the roots take hold. Not because we're weak, but because we were told a fantasy about how change actually works. Come with me. Let's expose that lie and learn how to tend real change all the way to harvest. Dr. Dave here, aka the Garden Shrink. I'm an old psychologist with fresh insights into life, love, and gardening. Join me on a journey to increase both our fruit in the garden and in our professional lives. Whether you're just thinking about gardening as a hobby, or you're an old pro, or just someone interested in psychological advice minus the copay, I've got something for you. So come on, let's grow together. In this Real Change series, we've been slowing things down on purpose because doing change the same old way gets us the same old results. In part one, we started with assessment, who you are and what you value, and why this change matters. In part two, we named ambivalence, the part of you that wants to change and the part of you that wants things to stay the same. When that stays hidden, it will quietly sabotage your efforts. In part three, we talked about planning, designing change that can survive low motivation, interruptions, and real life. And today we enter early tending. What happens after the excitement fades when progress slows and real life starts bumping into your plans? Before happily ever after shows up, there are boring drills, exhausting rehearsals, and long stretches without applause. And when we don't expect this, we quit. Not because we failed, but because we believed a story about change that isn't true. Most modern change advice, even good advice, still carries a quiet fantasy underneath it. The fantasy says change should be easy, consistent, linear, fueled by willpower. But we know, right? This isn't how real growth works. We send our kids to soccer, to dance, to martial arts. They drill, they practice, they mess up. They improve slowly. Pro athletes train year-round, and more intensely for months before the season even begins. Marathoners ramp up and then taper and carb load. Pianists rehearse scales before concerts. And yet, the rest of us, mere mortals, expect 2 years of weight gain to disappear in 2 months. We demand fast payoffs, and when they don't come, we assume that there's something wrong with us. This is what them doctors call magical thinking, and yes, it's a little bit narcissistic. Yep, he said it. But it's not in a clinical sense of narcissism, in a human sense. We expect the laws of growth to apply to everyone else, just not to us. This isn't an accusation. I mean, I fall into this trap too, except I expect to lose weight in 2 days, not 2 months. This is so important though. When we don't adjust our expectations, we don't just get discouraged, we quit prematurely right before change was about to take root, not knowing that the harvest season was right around the corner. Can you relate to this type of impatience, wanting to see immediate results? If so, let me know in the comments below when impatience tends to get the better of you. We can probably all benefit from that and relate. So, if the fantasy of change is fiction, sometimes even science fiction, what's the nonfiction version? Well, unfortunately, it's not a page-turner, but it is honest, and it is a good read. Real change is slow, messy, uneven, full of dips. But why? I'm fired up. I want it bad. Well, one reason is our neurology. New habits require new wiring. That wiring is fragile at first. It needs repetition, reinforcement, time. And when stress shows up, and it always does, your brain defaults to the old wiring, even when the old wiring isn't good for you. So lapses aren't personal failures or character weaknesses, they're biology. They're old neural pathways kicking in when the new wiring isn't fully installed. It's not at full power yet. Another truth, progress is often invisible before it becomes obvious. You have to go through a tripping point before you actually get to a tipping point. Now this middle phase feels boring. The novelty is gone, the early excitement fades, the full rewards haven't shown up yet. There's plateaus, regressions, days off, and you start thinking, am I doing this wrong? Is it even working? Maybe I'm just fooling myself. This is the dreaded dip, the rough patch, the grind. It shows up for everyone. Now hear me now, everyone. Most quitting happens here, in the desert, not knowing that this phase is not failure, it's practice, it's preparation and training, it's root growth. It's completely and absolutely normal. And another thing that works against us, there's this old myth that habits take 3 weeks to form. That's simply not true. Research suggests that for many habits to become fully planted, to become automatic, it takes closer to 8 to 10 weeks of consistency, and sometimes much longer depending on the habit. That's a long time, especially if your plan involves some aspect of depriving yourself. Stephen Covey once compared habit formation to a rocket launch. Most of the fuel is burned off at liftoff. Progress feels slow and heavy at first. But once the rocket escapes gravity, it takes far less energy to keep moving forward. Habit change works like this in the same way. Early tending is expensive and heavy. There's discomfort and effort. Later tending is lighter and easier. And most people quit during liftoff though. Well, not my good friend Farmer Dave. He's learned the hard way.
Right, Dr. Dave. I've left Fantasy Island for good. I've learned that different vegetables germinate at different rates. Even peppers from the same packet sprout on different days, and different pepper types, even bigger differences in grow rates. So no use comparing bells to habaneros. And no matter how much you baby them, if the packet says 70 to 80 days to fruit, you're never gonna get jalapenos in 50. So you water, and you fertilize, and you tend, and you protect. Do I give up in June? No, June's preteen. July's puberty, and August is adulthood and maturity. In my garden, peppers don't care about motivation, my timetable, or rockets blasting off at Cape Canaveral. So I don't either. I just keep tending. That's my part. My peppers, they grow the way they grow, slower than I want, but that's that.
And like you've taught me with asparagus, Farmer Dave, you don't harvest asparagus in year 1, only a light harvest in year 2, and regular harvest after that. Habit change is more like this, like asparagus, like a perennial, not like tomatoes. Tomatoes are one and done, 3 months and then you harvest. But asparagus needs time to get rooted and established. It takes a couple of years. But once it does, it produces for years and years and years. So the dip will show up. The boring middle will show up. That doesn't mean your plan failed. It means your nervous system is catching up to your intentions. Here are some early tending, research-supported strategies I've seen work over decades of clinical practice. Give partial credit. Don't wait for perfection to reinforce effort. Some is not none. Track your efforts. Progress is often happening before it feels like it is. Tracking helps you to see it. Name the dip. Tell yourself, I'm in the boring middle. It normalizes the struggle and it helps you to stay grounded in your plan. Plan for lapses. Lapses are part of learning, not proof you can't change. Get back on the horse. Keep the routine simple. Complexity kills fragile habits. Borrow strength from others. Change sticks better in community, and we need support and we need accountability. Reconnect with your values. Motivation fades, meaning endures. Remember why you started this whole change thing in the first place. And lastly, reset your expectations. I've actually created a free worksheet to help you identify and move from best-selling fiction about change, from unrealistic expectations about change, to real-life nonfiction. Our self-talk and our beliefs about change will either aid us or hinder us, either keep us on track or sabotage us in our journey. You'll find it on my website. It's meant to support you, not to burden you. Now, if some of these ideas resonate, let me know by hitting the like button and consider subscribing to get the latest. And while we're done today, we're not done by a long shot. Next time, we'll talk about long-term tending and maintenance, how to keep that momentum and keep moving forward. Short-term tending and long-term maintenance require different strategies. This is the part of change that almost no one teaches and the part that makes success sustainable. Because maintenance matters in relationships, in careers, and in health, and it matters even more with new habits. So for now, if you're in the boring middle, if you're not seeing amazing results yet, remember, you're growing roots and shoots. You're not broken, you're early, you're preteen. Don't quit. Just keep tending what you're growing, and the results will show up, like asparagus. See you later, friends. Let's continue growing together.